Jay is the guy that runs around town getting us all the good stuff so that we can put it on TMI. It's a tough gig, but a few days ago, he hit the KROQ acoustic Christmas concert. There were so many people hanging around. And Jay put his Christmas hat on and took us backstage. So let's roll it.
Puts the Rome in Sublime Chrome. So I'm hanging out with my new favorite band, dude, Young the Giant. I'm hanging out with Mumford Sons. We were asking the holiday questions. What does a rock star do over the holidays?
I like putting up lights, you know what I'm saying? Dude, I get into the spirit like no other.
Rock stars like to knit. It's a great pastime. Knit and drink eggnog.
This New Year's Eve, I will be in the wilds of Scotland at a castle, learning how to drive off-road vehicles in the snow.
Is your house like the house on the block?
Yeah.
Like draining electricity from the rest of the city? Like you can see from space?
Yeah, we have our own generator. So.
I'm going to Cuba.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. Maybe
on a boat.
I am a rock star.
We got a lot of like old like creepy Santa dolls that look like, you know, drunken Santas that look you know, from the 60s.
I'm thinking that going to Cuba is definitely a rock star thing because I didn't even know you were allowed to go to Cuba, but that sounds very, very cool.
We're British.
It's
aren't we?
easier if you're not
We're
American,
British.
yeah.
That's true. Ah, America.
Yeah.
That's what I do on the holidays.
What is the sweetest gift you got as a child?
It was a brand new skateboard.
Nice.
I was so excited to get a board, and then a week later I left it in my front. I lived on a corner. I left it in the front yard, and someone stole it.
Someone just ganked it real quick.
Ganked
it.
it.
Man, that's what
It
that
sucked.
The best present that I ever got in my life was the Atari 2600 with a Space Invaders cartridge on Christmas morning. It was all that I wanted, and no Christmas present has ever come close to that.
I got like a Lego robot set that had a little CPU, and you built the robot around it, and it had like photo sensors on it, so depending on light cues, it could do different things. You could program it to do stuff. It's pretty awesome.
Do you see the jealousy in my eyes right here?
Yeah.
Vivid memory of my brother getting a PlayStation for Christmas and feeling like that was too material and returning it. He was like 12 years old. I was younger. I'm his younger brother. And he says, no, this is too material. Well, who does that?
I asked for this, I asked for a boombox. Before they had 2 cassette players, they only had 1. We'd all swap cassettes, but nobody had a way to tape them, to dub them from one to the other. And what you do is, after Christmas, I got a little boombox and my brother got a little one, and we'd stick them right up next to each other and hit play on one and hit record on the other, so then I could dub all my friends' cassettes.
All I really, really wanted was the Millennium Falcon. My dad was in the Army, so we were stationed in Japan at the time, and the military base there ran out of Star Wars toys at Christmas. So I got a photo of one for Santa, or from Santa on Christmas, and then there was a nice little note that said, my elves were really, really busy this year, and I didn't have enough time to make you this, but I'm making it for you, and it's gonna come. And then like 3 days later, I think actually after the base got a new shipment of toys, and it came.
That's
and
really awesome.
I was never more happy in my entire life.
Did you actually think it was from Santa?
Oh, I still do.
The almost sweetest gift I ever got, when I think I was 16 years old, the only thing in the world that I wanted was a Volkswagen Beetle.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like my dream car since I was probably 10 years old, and all year long I was hinting to my parents because I was turning 16 that year. I was like, Christmas, I want a Beetle. And about a month before Christmas, they started, you know, dropping hints. Christmas morning comes around. My sister, my mom and dad, they walk me outside. I open my eyes with anticipation, and there's nothing there. I look down, and there's a little toy car, a miniature Beetle, sitting in the driveway, and I'm just absolutely devastated.
If you guys could play with any artist, dead or alive, and I mean going back to like Bach, maybe some caveman dude that we don't know about, who would it be and why?
I want to do like a drum and bass set with Mozart.
When I was recording the Fort Minor stuff, they were doing a Jimi Hendrix, some kind of re-release or remix thing, and he soloed Jimmy's, you know, guitar track, and it was just so much going on. Like, just it sounded like the whole song was a solo. As crazy and as much information as it was, as many notes as there were, it didn't sound like too much. Because it was coming from the same person at one time, it played well together, and there's nobody who can do that anymore.
Santa Claus. How about that? Because even though he hasn't really had like big musical numbers, I think it'd be awesome, and it's in the spirit. You know, we could do Santa got ran over by a reindeer. He could bring out Miss Claus. We could have little duets with her. You know, think about that set list. There's like hundreds of songs you could choose from.
Such a good, oh my gosh, that was such a great piece, Jay. Thank you so much.